If you were tasked to rebuild Meta ground up today, what's the one thing you'd change about it?
I think I would have helped us grow internationally more quickly. I think we're still playing catch up.
Sheryl, when you joined Facebook, you were considered the most powerful woman in tech, arguably the most powerful woman in business. 10 years later, you're still the most powerful woman in tech and still the most powerful woman in business. Is there a glass ceiling that Silicon Valley has, which is tough to break?
I mean, look, in the highest countries like the United States, women have 7% of the top jobs. Women are 50% of the population, and women are getting more than 50% of the college degrees almost everywhere in the world.
Right.
So there's only two choices. Either men are vastly more talented than women, or there's systematic bias, discrimination, barriers that women face, a la a glass ceiling. I think it's the latter. I think it's hard to argue, right? So I don't think it's controversial or even worth arguing whether there's not challenges faced by women, not faced by men. There are, full stop. Now, yes, there's a glass ceiling, but the thing that my foundation, Lean In, we've really focused on is even before we get to that glass ceiling, there's a broken rung, and it is that first promotion to manager. Okay. So men are promoted and hired based on their potential. Women have to prove it. Now, that means that where do women fall out? That first promotion to manager. Why? Because you can't prove you're a manager until you do it. So if you're going to promote someone based on potential, you'll promote a man. So more men than women are getting promoted to manager. So the inequity starts a few years out of college. But once it's uneven, it continues to be uneven. And so, yes, there's too much of a glass ceiling, but there's also a broken rung. And it is that first broken rung to manager that we need to fix. And again, hats off to you for having this conversation with so many people.
The kind of public scrutiny that Meta is going through, it's unprecedented all over the world. I don't know any corporate that has kind of seen this kind of this kind of glare, and the controversies, around Facebook's role in misinformation, hate speech, hostility to women and marginalized groups. First question is, how do you see all this scrutiny playing out? And the second question is, do you think your position and your personal credibility, both men and women idolize you, especially in Silicon Valley. Your personal credibility as this rare woman leader in big tech, does that help Meta emerge stronger from all this public scrutiny?
I don't know if my personal credibility helps, but I'll tell you what I do know. Is that we have a responsibility to get things right. Mark has a responsibility. I have a responsibility. And I sit here today knowing how much we've invested to make sure the good happens on our platform and not the bad. If you go back 5 years ago, I would say there were a lot of things that really caught us by surprise. Cambridge Analytica,
right.
Russian interference in the election, hate speech on the platform. We were not prepared as we should have been, but that's 5 years old. I sit here today, we are the leaders. We invest the most, we are the best at these things. Now, it's still never perfect. There are over 3 billion people on this platform, which means you're going to have all the good of humanity and all the bad. But our job, and I show up every day and I should be held responsible for it, is to maximize that good and minimize that bad. And what we see all over the world is people, and so many people in India, using Facebook to share, to connect. During COVID, it's never been more important than being able to make that connection when you can't be with people in person. And small businesses have had to make a digital shift. When things shut down, they had to reach their customers online. We offer all of those tools for free. And I think we're the largest platform for small businesses all over the world. And so our goal, and I do it every day, and I should be held to doing it every day, is to let that good happen and minimize the bad.